and today I'll be going through the steps of how to do reporting for your recently awarded grants. So here what you should see in your front screen is kind of our landing page to our SM Apply platform, basically our grant reporting program platform that's online. First, what you want to do is, if you haven't already set up an account, you can do it simply by clicking on register. It'll ask you for your email, set up a password, etc. Once you've done that, or if you've already done that or previously logged into this before, having been awarded previously, you may still use that login. But click here on login. Here's the website. Enter your login credentials. And then this screen, what you will see is, you may see it in this format, but this box represents the grant you were awarded. You may have more than one grant, or I'm sorry, more than one box if you've been awarded multiple grants. You can see it this way, or you can change the view to see it this way, where you might see the other two more rows if you have two more grants. I prefer this way. It says some apply number, specifically a number assigned to your grant for this system, the SM Apply. And this is status, so you're reporting for Q1 would be Q1, Q2, Q2, et cetera, et cetera. Hit start. Then it brings you to this screen, and this is kind of your reporting screen, the main, I guess you call it a dashboard of sorts, where you have your Q1 narrative report, your Q1 expenditure report, and Q1 data report tasks. Apart from these tasks, there's one extra one that some of you may know that have been awarded previously, but there's also an EGIMS claim that has to be submitted using a different system that you log into. But primarily today, we'll be going over these three tasks. You have a few options here. As you can see, you have something called Add Collaborator. There's someone else that's also helping with the report. You click on this and then get them set up. It'll ask for their email and they'll send them an invite, and they have to respond to that invite to also be able to access the same screens that we're seeing right now today. So let's go ahead, and you can go in any order. You have some people sometimes do the expenditure report, the narrative, or whatever order you want to go in. So let's start with the narrative report here. On this screen, gives you a little bit of background on the grant you're working on, specifically award. As a grant narrative, or I'm sorry, grant initiative that you're awarded, name of the organization, the title. You have your SMA number, which is this one right here. And then you have a subgrant number once you are set up in the EGIMS system, the E-Grant Management System. So in the narrative report, you primarily just answer some questions. Set up like a form. If you've worked with Google Forms, similar setup. We ask for activities here. You'd fill that in. Success story. Remember not to use any personal identifiable information when you're writing about youth. Some people make up names or just use an initial or something. That's what we ask. We ask for any challenges. And then 4 and 5 are optional questions. We ask you about any promising practices or effective approaches here. And this is just kind of for you kind of fill in whatever you may want to share with us regarding your program or any activities that we may have not asked or that may not be what's requested in the data report. You can also upload some of that information if you wish. It's optional. Just for the sake of training, I'm going to go ahead and insert some random text in there. You would actually be writing your reports, because if you insert this and we reviewed it, it'd probably go back and we make you do it again. All done. Mark as complete. There it is. You can look over your answers. Next, you want to do is kind of go now to either your data report or expenditure report. I'm going to go with the expenditure report. And what you see is really just a little form, not much actually compared to the previous form. There's no form here. Again, the information about your grant here. But what we have now that's been different from previous grant cycles is we now have an external kind of link for you to submit your expenditure report. There's no more downloading and uploading documents. So what you do here is you select it all. There's a few different ways of doing that. You can left click, leave your finger down on the button, highlight it. Another way is to, I think it's double or triple click. Let me see, I think it's double, triple. Anywho, this address here, you want to copy and paste it into a new tab, a browser tab. So copy, plus sign, right click, you can do paste or paste and go, doesn't matter. And this should work with any of your browsers. And then all of a sudden you see your budget. Again, your information about your grants up at the top, the amounts, and we'll be reporting for quarter one. So we go to quarter one and we fill out this column right here. Now some expenditure reports may look slightly different. You might have some additional columns, but on a quarterly basis, you would do the one that has labeled quarter one. In quarter two, you have some monthly ones. But this is kind of where you fill in the information, and it should auto-tabulate for you. You'll see here, see how it changes. I'm just putting random numbers in there. It's a minus because it went over. But that's expenditure report. So you fill that in, then you fill in the bottom, and then usually wait a second or two. There's no need to save on this. You just X out, automatically saves. Once you've done that, it's very important that you do mark as complete. And then we'll move on to the data report. Now the data report has two parts this time around. Again, same kind of structure here with information up top. So what we have in data reporting is you'll have your quarterly reporting, and then you'll have your end of year or your kind of ongoing reporting that'll be due in quarter four. And I'll show you what that kind of looks like. But first, quarterly reporting for the sake of this is really just a count. Now, it may be slightly different for those doing the re-engagement grants who award re-engagement grants. You may have to do this on an Excel file similar to the previous, where it'll open in a different tab and fill that in, and then you'll have to come back here. But here for the community investment grants and the various initiatives, this is what you would fill out. So let's just do something random here. Can I show you, just go through the motions, right? And then I would hit mark as complete. But before I go there, I kind of want to show you this end of year report. It's the same thing. Highlight, right click, copy, hit the plus tab, paste, enter. And then you're brought to this screen. Right, it's an Excel spreadsheet. Tells you again the information of your grants, which should all match up. And then you have the data report. And this is where you fill in the information. Each row represents an individual use being reported. Now, it may look slightly different for some of those that may have different programming and may have, in regards to have aggregate reporting. But the same process applies. You still open it up in a different tab and fill in the information. Once this quarterly reporting has been done, you hit mark as complete. And the other one will be open to you pretty much all the way until the end of quarter four reporting. You'll have it kind of be filling it out an ongoing process. Mark as complete. And you're done. Now there's something that says there's a error, it seems like. Okay, I guess it requires an answer. So what we do is hit 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0 again. Now mark as complete. There you go. Now, usually what happens after all these are done is, or during this process, sometimes between what may happen, maybe someone in your finance or accounting office, or it might be the individual doing this report, they will have to log into a separate system called, will be referred to as EGMS, right? And there's information on our website about that under the technical assistance website. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and contact your grant manager, and they'll be able to kind of fill you in on what that is and how to submit that. But keep in mind, that's kind of the official running ledger, if you may, for the amount or the balance or how much funding you have for your specific grants. Now, it's very important at the end of this that you hit submit. Hitting the submit button will let the grant manager know that you have submitted all your reports and as well as submitted your claim. So we can go ahead and begin reviewing everything for processing, really. But always come back to this. Now, mind you, the data report, the end of your report for re-engagement is also going to be slightly different. You may be something similar, again, opening it up in a different tab, but it may be something called a smart sheet. Similar to Excel, has a worksheet and all that, it just appears differently. On that smart sheet, you will have to hit the save button on the top left. It's very important you hit the save button, or the changes you made on that smart sheet will not be saved. Again, that's for the smart sheet for those who are doing re-engagement grant reporting, end of year reporting, and not for the community investment initiatives. After you're done, you can do a review of everything you filled out. Click on review, and you can see everything here. Go back to the application. You can download. But pretty much at this stage, what most people do is they just hit submit. Again, we already did a review. And that completes you submitting your grant reporting for that quarter. You will get an email saying that you have submitted it, and then the grant manager as well should be receiving an email as well, letting them know to go ahead and review your submitted reporting. If you have any questions or have any trouble with any of the links or anything not working properly, please reach out to your grant manager as soon as possible. Thank you and have a nice day.